and welcome to the NXT review. We are the Dadley Boyz of WhatCulture. I'm Adam Wilborn, joined by Michael Hamflett and Michael Sidgwick, here to review everything that happened on last night's episode of NXT. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube, where we do daily wrestling podcasts, where we not only review the show formerly known as NXT 2.0, AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup that we complete with a very good quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As I said, though, joined by Hamflett and Sidgwick to review last night's NXT, and what an eventful episode it was.
It certainly was that eventful. I don't think this quite lived up to expectations, but only because they were set incredibly high by that stacked show.
Far exceeded mine.
And it gave me hope for this change around that we're seeing in NXT. It was time to shuffle off a few of the talent that you're getting bored with, push a few new ones, all in service of this big CW debut, and I thought it was very effectively pushing you towards that as well. So not the strongest episode on its own terms, but I'm very excited about the stuff to come.
I thought this was pretty poor, to be honest, in large parts. Did I like anything? I liked a few things. There's one bit that popped me as well. A stupid bit of japes backstage.
Brilliant.
Just popped me.
Some good japes on last night's show.
I don't think I disliked... No, I didn't dislike anything on the show. Loved every second of it. Before we get into it, by the way, before I forget, I want to give a massive shout out to Zach, Zach Patel on X,
Legend,
who has sent us a belated birthday gift goodie, sending now when everyone's back in the office. Enjoy. Thank you, Zach. Not only has he sent us a boatload of Mountain Dew Code Red, Siggy. Do you want to crack yours open?
I opened mine 10 minutes ago.
Okay.
It's my favourite flavour. Thank you.
So
you greedy bitch.
Thank you for that, Zach. I will tell you that what was the technical term for the sweets that he sent us? Just American candy.
Assorted candy.
Bulk.
Bulk candy. Assorted bulk candy.
We've already eaten pretty much all of that. Feeling pretty sick this afternoon.
Yeah, going to crash in a bit. The studio's quite warm and.
So good that I don't think I've ever had Mountain Dew Code Red, actually.
Honestly, I think every flavour is absolutely good. I can see why Hamflett loves this. I think behind full fat cherry Coke, like Mountain Dew brackets general / various, might be my second favourite. I never not love this.
There's never a bad one. They don't make bad flavours. You just rank your sort of favourite to least favourite.
Only it has to be the American one, like the knockoff British one. Playing safe.
They even have to call it like Mountain Dew Energy over here because it's just not. It'd be misselling.
Meanwhile, this has got a thing that says less than 1% juice. Oh, thank goodness for that. I was worried for a second there. I enjoy that one, by the way, Sidge, because you know all the rest of them. Hamflett's going to empty them all into that new drink thing that he's got. It's meant for water. He's just going to fill it up with Mountain Dew. Hey, look, it's nearly 4 p.m. I need to finish this.
I've been at work 2 days.
Right. Let's get into this episode of NXT, which started with everyone coming through the very dangerous NXT parking lot. Even more dangerous because you see Jada Parker just hanging around there with a baseball bat.
Like the wrestlers walking past the saw and just elected not to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Just saw it as the most normal thing in the world. Like looking menacing with it.
Yeah, and she was, I think she was looking for fatal influence, wasn't she? More on that in a little while. But the show opened with the NXT tag team match. It was the champions, Axiom. And
when I'm cleaning windows.
Might need to on the thing. Versus the Street Profits.
Sticky buttons.
Great to see them back in NXT.
Not really. It represents a career regression.
Disagree, but just nice to see him popping back and make sure everything's better than ever in NXT. A good fun match. At one point, Montez.
It's better than when they were in the performance centre the last time. I know that much.
Hey, where's that old guy? Where's that old guy?
Yeah, let's go breathe near an 80-year-old.
Oh yeah, that one as well.
Is this? Just like they go around. Is this on, Montez? I don't know. Oh, we'll just do it anyway.
If you don't know what we're talking about, and I know this doesn't really bear thinking about, cast your minds back to 2020, where the Street Profits nonsensically make their old entrance through a crowd of plants, 2 of whom are octogenarians. Who, as you know,
they're trying to practice social distancing, right?
Yeah. When the whole idea was, the older they get, more dangerous the more dangerous it is. And the dancing like this. Hey. It's like I cannot think of a single level on which that isn't absolutely insane. So it's like, right, okay, here we go. Well, I've got this idea. Okay. What is it? Okay, here's the idea. The Street Profits are going to make the entrance to a crowd. Well, first of all, there's one problem with that. Who cares? It's been a few months now. I'm sick of hearing about it. Okay, what they're going to do is, they're cool. And they like to mix with the public, and the public like them, and it makes them see. Again, there's another problem.
Yeah.
In fact, there's another fatal flaw with this plan you've got. Right. Okay. Well. Okay. Are these fans at least hip, young kids who by association, by them liking the Street Profits, it makes the Street Profits look like cool and the hip young thing. No, they're 80. They're like 80 years old or something.
I just saw them walking across the road from the PC. They were getting the 1 hour of mandated air.
They're like 8 years old. Oh, right, okay. So that doesn't make them look cool. It makes them look lame. Yeah, I guess. And they're at most risk of catching the disease. Yeah.
No, spread the ring with COVID spray.
I was going to say, they had that special COVID spray. I just remember that at the time as well, because they were like, we've got all procedures going on. And we were saying...
Triple H spattered around his house to make sure he was fine.
They were doing that thing where they were like, okay, let's scan your forehead. Beep, beep, beep. Yep, you can go in. And we were just like, scan your forehead. Beep, beep, beep. Well, that's quite high. It is hot outside. In you go. It's a good time. Absolutely.
So this is
shambles.
better.
This is better.
Yeah.
This is better.
So Ford gets a hot tag. He's great. Obviously, he runs wild. Fraser springboards from the apron, gets caught with the Uranagi, and Ford hits the standing moonsault for a nice near fall. Axiom comes in. They do that awesome spot where Dawkins effectively just pushes him into a back suplex for 2. Then the champs come back. Axiom hits a super kick, a frog splash. Fraser comes in, hits a 450, thinks he's got the match won, but there's a kick out, and Fraser does a shocked face. Axiom goes up top. They do the high-low combo, but Dawkins shoves Nathan Fraser into the pin to break it up this time. Axiom hits a Spanish fly, but Ford goes for the Spanish fly. Ford shoves him into the ropes to crotch Fraser. Ford tags in. They hit a super blockbuster cover, but then suddenly the Bloodline invade. Tama Tonga runs out to attack him. Jacob Batu, there's a button for this.
Oh my God.
Takes Dawkins' head off on the outside. They lay out everyone. Set up Dawkins, swanton by Jacob Fatu. The Bloodline stands tall.
We couldn't call the finish here because the Street Profits as substitutes for the Rascals.
We did.
Well, we did actually, yeah.
Yes.
The Rascals couldn't really be beaten in the way that you assumed either the Rascals would be, or indeed they could win the tag titles, and that could be part of the Fraxim split. Bloodline, whatever, the Katita, whatever. Just like send in the biggest heel stable on SmackDown, beat them up. I think we're all right with that. Yeah, probably. They might get an 8-man tag out this one. Like Solo's
Probably
moves to Cody.
Which show? If you had to guess which NXT show in the next weeks, which one do you reckon they'd put the?
Well, I'm gonna say the one in Chicago or maybe even St. Louis.
I'd guess October 8th, to be honest.
Yeah, same.
Top of my head.
Yeah.
That obviously you're never gonna get until you're going head-to-head with AEW, the likes of a Rock or whoever coming in, but it just leaning on the top heels off the main roster. Will they do? Yeah, probably.
Can Solo make it? Nah, it's all right. Don't worry about it.
Don't care. That's the one thing nobody's complained about. Nobody in sort of say, oh, what are they doing there? And nothing made no sense. Where is Solo Sikoa? And now this is stupid.
Yeah.
That's how unover he is. Nobody has stopped to go, well, they look daft without him.
Can I just shock you?
Oh,
I think I loved every single second of this.
Oh, welcome aboard.
No.
Oh.
I mean, it's a low bar. Maybe this shouldn't be praised as much, but you've got, 7 minutes and a half, and then, look at it or whatever, bloodline interfere or whatever. And they didn't just go, right, let's just go through the motions because this doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. They went balls to the wall. They went really hard and fast. There's some really cool, intricate sequences. This is really dramatic. I probably
there's a Supersonic duo, Sid.
The other Supersonic duo, but they got there was this throwing dudes into suplexes, and by the time they've bumped, there's already a pin and a save before you can even process everything. Yeah. Just really lively, hot, dynamic action. So well received that virtually everything else on the show really sort of suffered crowd heat-wise because it just couldn't hold a candle to this, working their bloody absolute arses off in the middle of that ring. And so I just appreciated that they just decided, we've got 7 minutes, let's just go hog wild. Great. And then I thought the Bloodline, minus Solo Sikoa, looked like an incredibly menacing, badass unit who just looked like they killed these dudes. That was a heel beatdown, that was.
Yeah.
That's probably the most I've been sort of... Like, there's a lot more acting goes on in SmackDown, even when you get the best of Jacob Fatu in these beatdowns and in these heat segments. There's always a bit of like, there's lots of facial expressions.
Can't go to the cinema without actors. Sid.
There's a lot of facial expressions and all the rest of it. But this was just, you've got like 2 minutes to kick ass without too much in the way of like, hard camera. And then, I've got to look at the Ula Fala. Is that what it's called?
Indeed.
Tom Gallo's got to do a doink thing or something.
Yeah. This is big days.
Yeah.
It is funny, however, that we were previewing this yesterday. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcasts from, if you're watching us on YouTube. We previewed it yesterday, and we started talking about the various permutations. Hamlet went on this big deep dive about what promoters have historically done as they over-deliver on the surprise, and then it just came to me, they might just not give us a finish, actually. And then guess what? They didn't give us a finish. But as screwy finishes go, Bloodline looked intense as balls.
What version of Gatlas of Bloodline?
Goated Gallus on the...
There you go.
Yeah, go to Gallus. That's the new.
Sorry. Gallus.
Thank you.
We get that NXT Anonymous video of Tony D paying this mystery man to take out Obafemi tonight. Again, we'll hear more on that a little bit later. Then we get a great video package ahead of Julia's in-ring debut from her showing up at NXT Stand and Deliver going, who are they cheering for? Oh, me! And then montages of some of her best stuff from Stardom and Marigold. I've seen all that before, obviously. But nice to see it.
What show did you say she turned up on?
Oh, sorry. NXT Stand and Deliver. Yeah.
I didn't know what you were talking about.
And then we got the match. It was a Chelsea Green, perfect as opponent, as we mentioned before, versus Julia, who the aura on that entrance I loved. Chelsea doesn't care for it. She just talks crap and then slaps her, who just laughs, Julia, and shoves her. Green later on has Julia in a body scissors. They trade some pins, and Julia just turns around and just smacks Chelsea Green as hard as she can a few times. Green gets out of it all, gets hit with a kick, back suplex, as a charging kick to the head from Julia. Green goes to the apron. Julia goes out to the floor and grabs Green for a neck breaker off the apron.
Oh my God.
She throws Chelsea back in, and Green just rolls all the way across the ring to the floor again. Green pulls her into the commentary booth to try and take back over, throws her into the booth and over the booth, and then laughs maniacally. Grabs Julia, throws her in the ring, climbs up top, goes to the missile dropkick. Julia just moves, hits a huge knee to the jaw, which looked a lot better than last week.
Yes. There's a headbutt that looked pretty tasty.
Oh, yes. And then a Northern
Early
Lights
on.
bomb for the 1, 2, 3.
Julia was terrific on offense here and showed a ton of poise in the non-wrestling stuff. And they were probably the things that mattered the most because they have created an aura around her. The presentation of her has been excellent before the bell's rung. Terrific. However, the one time she had to attack somebody last week, it didn't look so good. And as long as the match plays out all right, you can allow for it. And that's ultimately what we got. I didn't love, not that Chelsea Green got loads of the match.
I was going to ask you about that, yeah.
She didn't get loads of it or anything. Not to the point where I felt like it disarmed what they're trying to create with Julia. But I just didn't love that she got anything, really. I didn't really want to see Julia doing any kind of selling. And the selling they did give her to do was almost as if, if it was just a straight-up wrestling match, she'd be kicking Chelsea Green's ass, and Chelsea Green's had to do the cheating stuff. They probably ever so slightly overthought that a little bit. Just have Chelsea make some sort of very simplistic, maybe a little bit of cheating, hold a rope or something, but something in the ring, just in an attempt to sort of, in an underhanded way, try and find a way into the match and not really find it and have Julia get back to kicking her ass. Because on offense, terrific. I just, the rest of it was probably unnecessary.
Do you think, just a question regarding the TV stuff, obviously, they've got a few more weeks on USA and then they go to the C-Dub. Do you think maybe this is them saying, you know what, if we're going to give her more in-ring time now, before maybe even doing squash matches like you say, let's do it here, and then when we get to the C-Dub, it's almost like a fresh start for her.
It's they can create the effect of both.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I would expect her to win the title on that CW episode.
Then what happens to Roxanne Perez? It's time for the main roster, or
and it's a lot of things on that show are going to feel like It's a launch pad for NXT, as it should be a launch pad for its champions, for its main stars, and in Julia, they've got potential to create both here. They clearly see her as this top star, and why not, I guess? And she's going to win the belt when potentially they've got this, I wouldn't say massive new audience, but it's going to feel for the night at least like a bunch of new people who'd sent on NXT. So they're doing it right. I just thought...
You sell it big, aren't they? You got Chicago and Belair come in, Punker, obviously,
But I just, on this match in particular... she looked great when she was kicking ass, and that's what you needed.
Just another conspiracy theory from me. Maybe they think they can let her have a longer match here and maybe have a squash match next week or the week after, if that's enough time, because they thought, or they know less people are going to be watching last night because of the presidential debate.
Here's what I think is the correct take, hence why I'm saying it. This, to me, was not what you do week 1.
Okay.
Or week 2 or whatever. So week 1, you do the big entrance. The presentation's often immaculate in WWE, and they did a great job with Julia, who herself did a great job of registering her presence and exuding the aura that people have heard about from afar. And that's the issue, and we'll get to that. Week 1, because people have only heard of Julia from afar and have only pretended to be excited about her because it's a victory in this ridiculous culture war, which is actually pertinent here. I try not to bring up the culture war. It's been my new sort of campaign over the past year or so. Let's not respond to how other people talk about wrestling, because that really does limit the conversation and the scope of it, and you're just regurgitating the same thing everybody says, and more to the point, everyone knows Hamflett. Do you know that there's a difference between in-ring storytelling and WWE's approach to it? Do you know what I mean? Do you know there's different ways you can tell stories in wrestling?
I do, Sitch, but it was my understanding that you can like both of them equally and exactly the same, like all things.
It drives me absolutely insane, but it's pertinent here, and that's why I bring it up. People had heard of Julia from afar. That's fine. Be excited. I'm from a generation of fans that saw a vignette of a wrestler doing nothing and thought, oh, Jesus Christ, you know what? I'm in love with that wrestler already. They've done nothing, but there's a mystique and there's a sense of anticipation. It's all right to just say, oh, I've heard of Julia from afar. I've heard good things. I'm excited to see her in the company that I just happen to enjoy liking the most, or the only company that I happen to enjoy watching. You don't have to say, yeah, massive Q. She's the best. Love all her work in a Seedling. Wrong one, but, you know, people have no clue. Because what you get here is this sense of, all right, okay, well, these fans are familiar with Julia's work, so let's just get her straight to business. The fans in this building had no idea what move she does, in which order, her sequences, her signature arsenal. So even when she was on offense, which I thought was good, but basically she's Asuka too in terms of the way that the character's presented, I wasn't as impressed as I was when Asuka first turned up. Maybe that's an unfair comparison, but whatever.
But I think they're inviting that comparison.
They are inviting it.
They are inviting
it. And like the arc is going to be identical, you expect. These fans just in this building didn't have a clue what she was going to do next. There was no anticipation for, oh, she's going to do this. Just nothing of the sort. It was a weird atmosphere, and it was a direct consequence of that. Don't listen to idiots online is the moral of the story. Us, we're guilty of it sometimes. You and wrestling promotions, or certainly WWE, because they didn't have a clue, and there was a sort of a lost quality. It was lost on the fans what the match was trying to accomplish. You can do this match, and then at some point you have to. In the weeks to come, this is really too serious for NXT. I understand.
Don't worry.
No, you got this covered. I expect.
We're going to Lexis King's barbershop.
What you do is week 1, you in no time at all, you establish that in-ring arsenal. You get someone who's really good at bumping for it and selling for it. And then when you do the back and forth, fans know what to expect, and then you can add the twists and the counters and all the rest of it from there. She needed to do a squash match is the incredibly long way of putting it, the short way of putting it.
The right opponent in Chelsea Green, regardless of how they presented the match.
In week 3 or 4,
That's it. It's the last thing she does before the Roxanne Perez match, maybe.
Yeah.
Blake Howard's backstage with Trick Williams talking about his last man standing match with Pete Dunne. He says he's never been such a match, but he's not going to stop him from getting his title match October 1st. Were they October 1st?
Chicago.
Ethan Page, he'll be there. Pete Dunne's not going to stop him. Dunne is a Class 1 butch. And Trick says he's going to be the last man standing.
Every time he talks, I just get hypnotized.
Great, isn't he?
He's great.
We see a video of Jordan Grace in the NXT Performance Center talking about the importance of the TNA Knockouts title. And I thought, don't worry, we know who she's facing later. Says the NXT Women's Division is stacked from top to bottom.
And I mean, folks, where's the lie?
And the more
Sounds, again, like he's on the moon.
and the more formidable woman she beats, the more she adds to its legacy. Tells NXT to bring their best.
When you were reviewing SmackDown, Sidge, did you bring up Solo Sikoa's Bobby Fish impression? Or you just responded to Cody Rhodes? I said, where's your scissors, Cody? Like, oh my God.
It's funny because you know how WWE sometimes just evaporates in front of my eyes when I watch it. I made the conscious decision because you just carry the Raw reviews wherever you get your podcast from. I was like, Hamlet's not here and I'm covering. I'm going to have to take notes here. Let's just get to my notes. The last one, this was even after he was on TV. I was just still annoyed by how much time is being wasted. Was Solo stinks. And Solo : you're on. And I've written all caps, Nish Pop. Just name pop, you're on.
You're on.
Hey, Cody, I said you're on. God, he's horrorless.
It was bad. It was bad. I saw somebody had done like how Cody versus Solo should go, and it was from the game.
Oh, yes.
It's about our game. Cody just with the crossroad and pins him in 3 seconds. Yeah. Put the cage up and everything.
Adrenaline, my sir.
We go to the barbershop. Lexis King is getting his
Nish Pop.
preposterous beard. It's getting worse somehow. It's very much reminiscent of that bloke's beard in the Hunger Games now with the swirly bits and what have you. And he says, check it out.
How old are you?
It was stuck in my head because I was just like, I've never seen anyone with that kind of beard. And then Lexis King comes along. Oh, there's the second guy.
Was it just me as well? Or is he like washed off all his fake tan? He looked like a bit paler this week, as if to illustrate the contrast.
He's a workout.
Yeah, like for the family.
People say he's as thick as
But his dad upside down. So
I sure did.
Gravity boots. That is a powder out the ass.
There he is. That guy.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. He's going to get that design next week.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
What's his name?
I don't know. Senek? No, that's not him. Different one.
Don't really do much with young adult fiction.
No.
I don't know what. I've not sat and watched it properly, but I just remember seeing that. I'd watch, if I had spare time. Rewatch Ace Ventura or The Mask or something. Anyway, he says, check it out. One of my fans has been making some clips of my greatest hits. And it's just a TikTok of him taking out Oro Mensah and getting a cheap win. And he says, I'm Oro's daddy now. And then checks out his beard and obviously gets jumped by Oro.
This TikTok compilation sucked ass.
It's a good meta gag, isn't it? There's a highlight package of all my best bits, and it's a TikTok.
Yeah, like a Vine.
That in itself is a funny joke. Someone's made a highlight reel of my best bits. It's like a Vine.
Yeah.
TikTok. Show him putting his feet on the ropes against someone or other, and it takes him 5 years.
Yeah, so
He's sluggish.
The beard stuff that's his safety net, though, isn't it? It's a good one.
I mean, they're going to do some sort of hair versus hair thing, aren't they? Eventually with him.
This is your thing. They're going to shave his
Wrestling doesn't do anywhere near enough. Can you remember? Was it Rude Rage 2022?
I forgot about that.
Chris Jericho versus Ortiz. One of the hottest matches you probably don't remember in AEW history. It was hair versus hair.
Yes.
It was to build towards the first Anarchy in the Arena. Like the idea of Jericho, people were going absolutely haywire for it. If I'm Tony Khan, I'm doing that every month. I mean, obviously you don't. At least once a year, do a hair versus hair.
What was the hair versus hair match where they had, and then she went, "Oh, this guy's going to show
Tony Khan, Matt Hardy and Orange Cassidy.
Except
that was it. It was someone volunteered.
Jack Evans.
That was it. That was it, wasn't it?
That is
Never seen from again.
That is pathetic, isn't it? That is.
He was never seen from again, I don't think.
Right.
Jack Evans or whatever. Lick a tit or whatever.
Just him screaming towards the line. Anybody want to be shaved? Great. But then it's like, you got to be Matt Hardy's friend.
And goes back down. Right, we go to the women's locker room. They're not arguing for once. They're all just really excited about the open challenge. Kalani Jordan says she's excited for Lola.
No, an argument breaks out, guys. Don't worry. That's what
stick around.
These bloody boards are like, innit?
One of two segments again where there's 100 of them.
Yeah.
They just have them like walk in a circle.
They were all buzzing. I was like, surely it's going to be chaos when she says, "Come on then, who am I fighting?"
What are you doing at work tonight? Walk in a circle in the locker room. Nobody's going to notice it's me twice. And probably in a room with Eddie Thorpe. Right, how's the wrestling training going? I just told you.
But in walks Fatal Influence.
Oh. No.
Fallon Henley, Jasmine Nix, and JC Jane, of course.
No.
They mock everyone. JC says, "Who's stepping up to the plate?" Lola says, "You should step up." JC says, "Don't tell me what to do." And their fight nearly breaks.
Don't wrestle, and just don't wrestle. Pursue a different career.
And make sure it's not acting.
It's the WWE will always do this, won't they? Yeah. Nah. I'd still rather not.
Ay. Terrible, this.
Heritage Cup time.
Just it's when they always insist on wrapping it up as well. So like you've got like a little advice there. I'll get you next week. What's that you said? I'll get you next week. They've just walked a second out of shot. There's another baby face. It's like, yeah, you tell them, Lola.
Tell them, try.
What did you say?
Try.
It's so like they don't make any effort.
Nah.
Also, I thought watching this, have they got in here without Jada Parker seeing them?
Yeah.
Jada Parker. Wait,
Got the back.
get here. They've been here. They've gone already. Huh?
Turn the camera in on that locker room set. It's like Shawn Michaels in a director's chair with a beret on. Perfection.
Heritage Cup, Charlie Dempsey versus Javon Evans. I'm less interested in rounds matches now for some reason. First round's even.
Not even going to recap it.
No, I'll do bits, but not as much. Javon Evans is great, and not exactly breaking news that. He hit a springboard Rana as the time expired in the first round.
I'll do bits. That's going to be written on your epitaph.
Digital gravestone. Did bits.
I'll do bits is going to be on my Cameo page. I'll do bits if you want. Dempsey in the round 2 charged into the corner, slams Evans' head into it, and he hits a dragon suplex to get the 1-2-3, goes 1-0 as we go into picture-in-picture break, which surprisingly covers pretty much the entirety of round 3.
I can't believe it.
Except there was actually a pinfall in round 3 as well. We came back with less than a minute to go. Evans knocked Dempsey down with elbows, hits a kick to him after being sent into the corner, and a twisting springboard splash ties it up at 1-1. Round 4 was really good. No pinfalls in there, but some really good action between the two of them. Evans grabbed Dempsey for a suplex out of a guillotine choke. Dempsey hit some European uppercuts. Evans fired back. Dempsey hit a double underhook suplex. Bridge. Evans kicks out. Dempsey got a guillotine until the bell, and he wouldn't let it go. And Cedric Alexander, who's there in Javon Evans' corner, comes in to break it all up. Round 5, all to play for. Evans comes off the ropes with a big kick, springboard clothesline. Dempsey rolls to the ropes, and as Evans covers Charlie Dempsey, Miles Bourne puts his foot on the ropes. So Cedric Alexander just dives onto Miles Bourne. German suplex. Evan lands on his feet. He chucks Dempsey over the top and then dives over the turnbuckle onto him. It looks great, that did.
Oh my God.
Absolutely. I mean, how do you do that? He just clears the post.
And how do you survive without being caught?
Yeah.
How do you be Regal's kid? The most NXT kid of all time in NXT. And that's probably why. Can't catch anyone to save his buddy alive.
But Ren distracts the referee, and Tavian Heights just flies back in. Good to see him back. And just takes out Javon Evans, chucks him in. Charlie Dempsey pins him 1-2-3, retains the Heritage Cup.
We take the piss out of these Heritage Cup matches. This got decent by the end.
Yeah.
Like, it's so strange how it'd be one thing if every single time it was like this. It's like we're loving the gauntlet at the moment in AEW because it just feels magic. And the more random it is, the better. Realistically, you want to believe that Tony Khan is making up the intervals, the wrestlers in it. You know, there's like a queue of wrestlers just waiting. He's like, now another one. Like it's.
I always remember that. Was it Roddy Strong? Here's Roddy Strong, one backbreaker. Right, next one.
Yeah, and I like it that way. Yeah. I don't want it to get its own paper.
Yeah.
It's genuine chaos when there's almost none in wrestling. That's the feeling. This is like a different kind of formula where this is quite inspired because you get like 3 rounds of sort of.
You're comparing the Heritage Cup to the Casino Gauntlet.
I'm not. This is the problem. It's sort of the polar opposite.
Yes,
and it's freezing cold, and it's like we're gonna have 3 rounds of nip and tuck, and it could go either way. And then the second 2 rounds, by then the crowd are like super jacked, and they've been really invested in the stakes. It's 3 boring rounds and 2 good ones.
Yeah.
Like this happened with the
one of
tuck.
which is entirely through a commercial break.
Yeah, that's it. You skip one of the boring ones, right? Now you're back. Now it starts proper. Well, what were the first 2 rounds? So absolutely nothing. I'm not even going to lie to you at this point. But the last round and maybe half of the penultimate
Round 4 was good, yeah.
Really, really gripping. Javon Evans is really crashing. Javon Evans.
Jaron Aaron's.
Is irresistible.
Yeah.
Is what I was going to say. I like
Irresistible.
I don't know if it's just I'm finding like
Should have popped the Jew 10 minutes early.
new joy in certain high flyers, but him and Hologram right now are just 2 destination pro wrestlers for me. They just might do something that I actually haven't seen, and that never comes around at the moment, especially in this genre in North America. I can't speak to what might be happening in Mexico, but certainly on NXT or on an episode of AEW, it's like, did that flyer actually do something different? So I just love watching him. I don't mind Charlie Dempsey, but I really love the Ren QCC.
This great.
Yeah,
Wrecking Ball, just...
Not a great time on Excursion, so I'm told. So I'm reliably informed.
No, he did.
Oh, it was just
Josh Briggs.
Oh, just Josh Briggs had a stunk the gaff out.
That was intentional, though, from what I've read.
Why?
Because it's like, bloody Westerners coming over here, slowing everything down.
Where'd you read that?
Twitter. So probably might have been slightly biased, I don't know. Although Elon Musk is in charge, and I sincerely doubt that would have snuck through the...
What Twitter account we're on? At WWE NXT, of course.
Yeah.
So on the marquee it said Dempsey Evans. In execution it was tedium versus excitement. And then it got a little bit shared deeper into the match. I need a sound button for my weekly lament of Charlie Dempsey. You're in the wrong company, mate. What are you doing? You can imagine him on Raw.
No.
You know what I mean? Honestly, better off with bloody Ricochet and Mally Black under Vince because he's not. What are these yeet fellows and these guys gonna think? Just the fans who like catchphrases and stuff. What are they gonna think of Charlie Dempsey? He's got the odd inventive like submission trap in him. What the hell is this guy?
Yeah, but what if...
Lima bastard's boring my ass off.
What if he drank a cup of piss?
This is it, right? I can't believe I'm going to say this about like the son of William Regal.
He hasn't got the chops.
I think I prefer him in skits to matches. I never thought I'd say that about the son.
He hasn't got the comedic timing. He's not the same.
No, but I prefer him. He's better in skits.
He's probably had as many good matches as his dad.
Yeah.
Right.
Then we got a very...
Sorry, Benno told me to say that.
You just put the heat on him.
Yeah, he's already said it before, and he don't remember.
Took a lot of grief from people.
I remember that now.
They were just lying. What about the I don't know.
I don't know, Jeff.
What about a boring WrestleMania rope now? Oh yeah, good point.
You win.
Well, Big Show fell on him. That's the one, isn't it?
Yeah, the brass knucks there. Right, it all got a little bit scary next. Rosemary talks about how once upon a time the Hive called out and asked why she'd allied with Wendy Chu. She says,
Once upon a time, this all happened like 3 weeks ago. Once upon a time. Once upon a 3 weeks ago. Honestly, this show stinks.
She says there are many reasons. One to be revealed tonight, one next week, and one a warning to Lyra and Tatum Paxley. You made your bed, but did you take a look what's hiding beneath it?
And then she comes out from another bed.
I jumped out of my skin when that happened.
Shut your mouth! No, you didn't.
Oh, God.
Honestly, it's the worst acting I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen The Room.
Yeah, you're going to say that.
And I've watched WWE for the past 22 years.
God, so you're not going to say it to the kids at the weekend.
And I've watched Jey Uso.
Have you made your bed? Yeah. But have you checked what's underneath it?
Some pajamas, probably. Pajamas and old bedding. That's just been got 2 drawers. One's pajamas, and one's just old bedding.
Got the lifting bed gimmicks. And so that's where the storage
that's a
is.
risky.
The rooms are a bit small.
Always think that's a bit risky. What if it breaks?
Cross that bridge when it comes to it.
We got the drawers.
Got the drawers. Also, right.
Scale electrics in mine.
Do you have the same problem where so you've got the pajamas in one drawer, or like wherever the storage might be, where you're like, is this actually clean bedding that's spare, or have we just put it in there at some point?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could be washed 8 times, you know? I forget. Did I wash this 8 months ago? I change it more often than that, but you know what I mean? There's several. I've got lots. I've got 104 sets of bedding.
So you made your bed, but did you...
Made your bed?
Made your bed, but did you check what's hiding beneath it? You never know.
Are you going to stay at Airbnb? It's probably a beg and breakfast.
You never know what's creeping behind your door. Oh, it's just the wind, I think. A lot can go wrong when you wake up on the wrong side of bed. And scarier than that, it's not having someone to play with. So...
Trash.
Absolutely.
It's shoot trash. It's the worst.
I always want you to say wipe out at the end of that. The laugh.
Oh, it's more like the Halloween.
I know.
It does sound like the wiper, but that can be saved for when AEW launches its new show on Fox.
Yeah. Oh, bloody hell, an electric eel. Shockwave.
Sarah Schreiber interviews NXT champion Ethan Page, who says they're back to NX Me. Love that line. He tells everyone to take a good hard look at the NXT champion, who's responsible for the era they're all in and will continue to be in. He's asked who he's rooting for in the last man standing match. He says, I'm not afraid of Pete Dunne, unlike everyone. So she goes, oh, cool. So you want to face Trick then? He says, no. He's still chasing ghosts, and we've had the whoop that Trick era. Can't capture lightning in a bottle again. I'm rooting for me. I want to watch them destroy each other and pick up the scraps in wherever they are on October 1st.
Chicago.
Thanks.
Yeah, fine.
Also,
Ethan Page is A-okay.
He's A-okay, isn't he?
He's a solid citizen.
Yes.
and Jay Cargill and Bianca Belair are going to show up on that debut episode on the CW as well.
Yeah, why not?
Want to stick around for next week? I think you will.
I had a look on Ticketmaster this morning. There's like only resales available at the moment. Oh, yeah. You know, the all-state ski as well.
Are you taking the piss?
No, I don't know if they've got like maybe more in the upper deck still to release or whatever.
Yeah.
But as of this morning, at least, because they won't have sold out yet. There's no way they've done a shoot sellout for the all-state.
You say that, but CM Punk has sold out every building in Chicago with a roof. Apart from that particular episode of Collision, but you know, ones in the past.
That's probably why the Booker and Cooker of the Year reached out to him later on.
Mm-hmm. Then it was time for Obafemi to face whoever Tony D's hired gun was, and it was revealed to be Alexander Hammerstone. Well, just Hammerstone here. What did you think? We did suggest him yesterday.
We
mentioned his
just
name.
Looked at the Twitter replies.
We picked him out as one of the people we thought it could be.
We read out every reply.
I had seen Hammerstone wrestle once ever before this. It was MLW, I think. And it, like, truthfully, it didn't leave a big impression on me. But every time there's been Twitter discourse about him, especially recently when he signed for TNA, like, I'm just looking at the pictures going, like, that's what a wrestler looks like.
Yeah, it is.
When things were better in the past. So I was like, yep, yes, please. Like,
Yeah.
who's going to throw the other one first? And they answered my question. The business is back.
I'm not sure if the business is back, to be honest.
No, this was a real disappointment.
I was there.
But
thanks. I thought I was going to take
Tony
it.
Z had a better match, but that's unfair
like-
to compare him to that. It's like
that,
comparing
like, spinning-
Ricochet to Ospreay or something.
Like spinning half border toss thing he did.
Yeah.
It was like, guy's as big as a f***ing warlord. Shook him off across the ring. Tito Santana wasn't getting warlord up.
There were some spots. Femi got clotheslined over the top to the floor. Clotheslines him in the back of the head when he got back in, though. hit some stomps to the spine, an exploded suplex. Femi hit a big European uppercut. He gets Femi up on his shoulders to Hammerstone, but he elbows out of it, picks Hammerstone up, gorilla press toss.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God.
Wish I was in the building for it.
Yeah.
Like reinforce the ring stuff, that one, isn't it? Massive.
Just the bit where they both grab each other by the throat. Great. And Femi just headbutted him. Hammerstone hit two release German suplexes to Oberfemi. He gets him up for a choke slam for a 2 count. Goes for the nightmare pendulum, but Femi shoves him off, knocks him down, pop-up powerbomb.
the program.
Knocks him down, pop-up powerbomb, 1, 2, 3. The family have been watching this backstage, and Tony just throws his hands up and walks off. Furious.
I still think it's an interesting story with this Oberfemi and the family thing. He's barking up the wrong tree, Tony D. He cannot stop this man. And it's sad to watch somebody that's been the dawn of NXT.
You noticed Hammerstone didn't kick out of the pop-up powerbomb. Someone else did, though. Tony D. So, anyone else done that? I don't think so.
I have a couple of observations on this match. One is Shawn Michaels been watching a bit of AEW because this is very MJF-ian, this program between Tony D and Oberfemi in that he gets one of his stablemates to be part one of the gauntlet. Then he pays for a hired gun from outside of the company, as MJF has done on several occasions. You know, Nick Gage. Everyone's in AEW now, so it's hard to tell.
W. Morrissey.
W. Morrissey.
Who was it he had that match? Jericho had that match with him. It's like you have to hit this move off the top.
Juventud Guerrera, you know. So so it's a bit of a MJF pill. This
Greatness echoes greatness.
Greatness echoes greatness on this occasion. Observation number 2. This is precisely why, if a reminder were needed, that when you are a giant dude, it is better to debut against a tiny dude who you can throw around, so you can establish that you're a big bully threat. You're a mountain that cannot be scaled, etc. Look, I will say it's pretty cool that at long last, NXT/WWE have decided people with name value can just kind of come in and do stuff without the repackage. Noble failure stuff, this. I thought Hammerstone was quite robotic in his movements. Not particularly impressive, but at the same time, he's not that well known. That was evident in the atmosphere. It's pretty hard to just magic up an aura against this dude who's been really, really well built and who's performed brilliantly well in Oberfemi. So he had a figurative and literal mountain to climb, and he didn't scale it.
Sorry, before I get your thoughts, saying about crashing.
Kind of already given them.
No, I'm going to get Hamlet's thoughts properly, thoroughly in a second. But I'm really sorry to do it. It's very unprofessional. I am crashing here, and I don't think drinking this Code Red's going to suffice. I'll nip out and grab some more of the sweets from downstairs from the
Will you bring them up?
I'll bring loads up. Yeah, don't worry. I'll sort you all out. But I'll be back. But you give us your thoughts, and I'll recharge.
Mostly with you, Sitch.
Sorry, my arm's hurt.
That'll be really because you've had so much sugar, your arm's crashing. That's how that happens, isn't it? Yeah. I love how he looked. He's massive. Just a shame that he had to go in there against Oberfemi.
I know.
Bring Sid up in 88 and put him against Hogan to lose on his first night. Not Sid, is he?
No.
Yeah.
Not that no one ever could be Sid, but,
Big guys.
Who's the smallest bloke in NXT?
I mean, Von Evans getting launched by Hammerstone would have been something to watch, wouldn't it?
Aye, absolutely. Oh, well. Can't turn back the tides of time.
Tough break for old Hammer last night, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to get some more hired guns in or something. We'll get him one day, huh?
Have you got any ideas for the next mercenary?
I was thinking Moose. Love that guy in WCPW, so I think he could really do a job for us.
You fan of WCPW?
Big fan of WCPW.
All right, cool.
What's your favourite WCPW match?
Gonna have to say Will Ospreay versus Rey Mysterio. Milton Keynes, one of my favorite goddamn places. Right by that. Not sure if you saw, but off the back of this match with two dogs going at it. Dogs was trending on social media last night. It must have been because of this, right?
Not quite.
Why, what happened?
I don't know if I want to get into it.
No, one of your presidential candidates suggested that there might be a culinary delight. He says a lot of stuff.
He says a lot of things.
Strange. Okay.
He really is.
What's the deal with dogs?
Dogs are a breed of animal. They.
No one will notice that you've had some of that.
That's okay.
Dog is a breed of animal, often domesticated. Who's your best friend?
Tony D.
No, it's a dog. They are often
Tony
referred.
Dog.
They are often referred to man's best friend because they are incredibly loyal. There's these adorable videos that you sometimes see online of like a dog that's been separated from its owner for months, and these boffins, these scientists would say the dog will never remember the owner. Does. They're going absolutely haywire, ballistic in happiness when they actually get reunited with the owner. They are such cuddly, wholesome delights. They just they're like a mirror of happiness. So they reflect happiness.
Love dogs.
It's like a sun and a solar panel. Like you get warm from that. You see a dog and it's like, oh my God, come here. Cuddle. That's what you do. You get the jowls. Now that I'm thinking this, Stacks, you might have talked about dogs before, because I'm getting deja vu. Getting deja vu from the jowls. Dogs are
Batista.
Dogs are absolutely goated. Wouldn't you agree, Hamflet?
Scared of them. Don't trust them. Savages. Domesticating them was a mistake.
How's domesticating them a bit?
I'll tell you the context in which I enjoy dogs. Stacks, you'll already know about this. And you were there firsthand to witness when I very much enjoyed the context in which I think all dogs should be. Jumping off diving boards is sport.
Oh my God, this is the best.
Dog jumping. What the was that?
So
I'll write it down.
Thank you. Yeah.
we were watching the sport in a bar in Vegas on the day of Double or Nothing,
Just
right?
the 50 to choose from.
Just the 50 to choose from. I was like, dogs. A sport? And we thought, right, we had a couple of beers, which might have affected things. So chugging down some brews, just watching some dogs. And we thought the game was the dog has to catch something in its mouth at the same time as jumping off a diving board. And I was like, well, this is amazing. And it was like the suspense of, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
You're so close. That's not the point of the game. That's just a ploy with which to convince the dog to do the jump in the first place.
Dog long jump, wasn't it?
Yeah. I thought, they should do the sport that we invented in our heads.
Yeah.
But, man's best friend, jowls, that's the deal with dogs.
Good to know.
Surprised you've never really seen one.
I just didn't know what I was looking at. It's actually a sin to have sex before marriage.
A sin.
It's a sin, indeed, to have sex before marriage. Except if you do it doggy style, because all dogs go to heaven. I'm in a bit of a weird place right now. My girlfriend is mad at me because I could only last 2 minutes in bed. In my defense, it was doggy style, though, so it's more like 14 minutes. 3 questions, 3 jokes for you. CG, if all dogs go to heaven, where do cats go? Huh?
In a litter tray.
Oh, yes, Sidge. He wants us to say hell. There's a contract, yes.
In a litter tray.
Good night, right? If all dogs go to heaven, where do cats go? Purgatory.
Kiss my head.
Question joke number 2, Hamlet. What do you call a dog magician? Huh? Picture that.
Right, what are famous magicians? David Copperfield.
Paul Daniels.
David Blaine.
Penn and Teller.
I'm trying to think of like dog breeds, obviously. Dynamo.
David Pupperfield.
Oh,
I don't like when
dog
people say
magician.
Chonk boy. Gross. Grow up.
I don't like the vernacular surrounding dogs.
No,
good boy,
good
chonk.
boys.
Heckin' good chonk.
Ugh.
Kiss my balls.
An adult. All our 30s. Fact.
Kiss my balls. Any other famous magicians?
Houdini was a magician? Can't remember.
Houdini.
Yeah.
Houdini.
Good night, right? What do you call a dog magician? A labracadabrador.
Oh, it's one for the kids, I suppose.
Well, all jokes for the kids. Speaking of which, question joke number 3. What happens when my missus and I do a doggy style, huh?
Other than what you've already told us.
Well, than that already.
He likes doing a doggy style with his missus, doesn't he? Best position for you, Stags?
Up there. Right up there. You know why? No, I'm not going to tell that other joke. I'll tell you afterwards, actually, guys. I got another one, but I feel like I probably shouldn't put this on camera.
So what's the
setup?
What's the setup again?
What happens when my missus and I do a doggy style?
We're obviously going to, he's probably going to ejaculate at some point. So how do we work that? So how do we work that into the punchline? Is the question?
It's a weekly problem.
Are we going to ejaculate?
Oh, God.
What happens when me and my missus do a doggy style?
She takes the lead.
Don't know.
Gone for a walk.
Oh, got it. How does me and my missus do a doggy style? She
Remembering where the
she
punchline
bites.
is.
She bites and I walk. Something like that. I come. I don't know.
Good, close, not right. What happens when my missus and I do a doggy style? What happens when my missus and I do a doggy style? I sit up and beg, she lies down and plays dead, then I slobber all over her ass and give her a treat afterwards. See you later, guys.
Oh, no, not selling it. Bye, Stacks.
You won't believe it, lads. Phil's eating all of them. Sorry.
All the sweets?
All the sweets, all gone.
He's going to be sick as a dog.
Yeah. So, do you see dogs were trending on Twitter last night?
Yeah.
I don't think it was related to this though. I think it was.
Why would it be related to the match?
2 dogs going at it, obviously, but I think it was political or something. I'll get into it. Everything all right? What did you get up to?
Stacks popped in.
Oh, you're joking.
Yep.
Was he on form? Was he?
There you go. When is he not?
Yeah.
Good. Hank and Tank, they want a match with Gallows and Anderson. And one of Ava's assistants is there.
It's Robert Stone.
He'll talk to Ava. She hasn't got the same name. She's Rock's daughter, general manager of NXT. They're excited. And then Chase U walk by. Duke Bloody Hudson says, Rich Holland's scum. He's getting revenge. He shouts out Andre Chase watching from his hospital bed.
Missed the bit where they carry off Robert Stone.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
They carry him away. It's great.
He's going to give Ridge a Chase University-sized ass whooping.
Love Jake Hudson. Nice that he got this little opportunity.
Nice that he got this loss to someone who's significantly less talented than he is.
But it's to set up Chase Hospital, Sidge.
No, it isn't.
Next week.
Yeah. And I know we'll get into it in a second. Lash, back in the women's locker room, Lash and Jakara looking ready for potentially answering this open challenge. And Ren Sinclair walks in, says, I got after the TNA Knockouts Championship or your title, Kalani Jordan. Kalani's like, why don't you just focus on us doing the open challenge tonight? But Kalani wishes Lola luck. Jada walks in with a bat and it's like, where's bloody Fatal Influence? We've just been here.
This room.
Jada. And Lola says, yeah, they've been on there. We'll give you a hand. She's like, go away. I do it alone. Oh, fair enough then. Bye.
Something tells me there might be a 6-woman tag.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Something that's going to be followed up later.
It's insulting. The booking is that, like, considering it's in terms of quantity, the best chance women's wrestling's got in North America and NXT, these vignettes every week are absolutely insulting.
They're horrible.
But speaking of women's wrestling, CM Punk has posted to Twitter praising Julia's debut. So he's got
Where are you going with that?
He's got an idea. He's going to run it by Ava. More on that later.
Well, even in the kayfabe, the Punker was like, obviously I'm going to turn up on NXT, but in storyline we're not having it be her idea.
Yeah.
I'm in charge here already. Like, Sean, me, just underneath Sean. Ideally, I take Sean's job. What about Ava? That's not the story we're building.
Why is he saying, I want to take Sean's job? When he was like a week in.
Yeah.
I've got my eye on that.
Weird. I'll probably win the title, NXT or whatever.
Look at it or whatever.
Then it was time for Rich Holland.
No, Ridge Holland, way, way, way off that yet. Look at all that to come. Oh, yes. Ridge Holland versus Duke Hudson. Thea Hale and Riley Osborne there to support him, of course. Big brawl to start. They brawl out of the ring. Ridge is on the outside. Duke follows and slams him onto the apron, and then
Sack of tits or whatever.
into the booth. He clears
That's what he
the...
says. That's what he says. Suck the tits or whatever.
He clears the commentary booth, but Ridge attacks him from behind. Ridge gets sent into the steps, though, and Ridge has to bail into the ring. Duke comes in with a springboard into a German suplex. He grabs the trophy to twat him with, but Thea Hale talks him out of it. But unfortunately, that distracts him long enough to Ridge to recover, tackle Duke into Riley, who I think he turned his ankle or something. Going to have to be helped with his recovery, and maybe then those crazy kids can get it together. Riley's helped to the back. Ridge takes over here, lariat, elbow drops, fists, grabs Duke, release belly to belly, kicks him in the corner. He gets a scoop slam, then knees to the head, goes for a powerbomb, but Duke escapes and rolls Ridge up for one. Duke tries for a powerbomb, but Ridge blocks it and hits Duke with a crossbody, followed by a jackhammer, and gets the 1-2-3 with the Redeemer. Do you want to talk post-match now? Or do you want yeah. Afterwards, he attacks Duke Hudson again. Just batters him, chucks him into the barricade, chucks him through the barricade, and Holland picks up a part of it, drops it on Hudson, and then hits the DDT on that barricade, all the while his daughter, not his daughter, sorry, reminds me of his daughter, Thea Hale is screaming for Ridge to stop.
Thea Hale here sounded like, you know that video where those two women are doing the try not to burp challenge? And then the one summons Satan herself with that burp. She's like going, oh, God, I don't feel good. Oh! Like that.
Yeah.
The screams went from like sort of, leave it. Oh, no, Rich, no. Maybe she does sound a bit like his daughter, actually. Where's this going?
I don't give a damn.
Is it going to be that he's going to put Riley Osborne in Chase Hospital next, and it's going to be Thea Hale all by herself, and he's like, I'm going to put someone that reminds me of my daughter through a table, and then she's going to be saved by the newest member of Chase U, or something or is Riley Osborne just going to see sense and side with Ridge Holland?
Oh, I hope not.
He's seeing that the violence is working over the joining an academic institution within a gym, and
they planned the spot for him to fake an injury so he wasn't there to save Duke. I'm invested.
I am super invested, but I just can't work out all the details just yet.
I'm hoping they go October 8th. They go, we've got a new member of Chase U, the Undertaker.
And that's what the U stands
Imagine
for
him,
all along.
Imagine him in one of the jumpers.
Chase Undertaker. That's why they went from red to black.
Remember the
black and purple.
Yeah.
Or the the Stars and Stripes.
Yes.
But that just says Chase U. Come on.
No.
Gets Andre Chase on his podcast.
Is that worse?
You'd know.
No, actually, a proud principal now.
We've got the code red machine.
I only
the big one.
Yeah. I only really watch the clips on YouTube Shorts.
Because his YouTube face is so convincing.
I didn't want to Maven.
Yoko and 9 other guys.
Jordan Grace walks backstage.
I had what on my T-shirt when I was in Power Slam magazine in 1995? What?
Brian Lee looks just like me. Is that my wife got confused allegedly? Ain't that right, Kane? You know something about that, Kane?
No.
Jordan Grace walks backstage. It's a little moment with her and Julia. Heads to the ring.
Who? Julian?
Jordan Grace.
All right.
We see Pete Dunne backstage.
That's your match at, I forget the name of the WrestleMania weekend.
NXT Stand Delivery, yeah.
She's
full of,
Jordan Grace will be in by then, wouldn't she?
on January 1st, if I'm not mistaken.
Drop that belt, Jordan.
Soon as it's practicable.
You can. Drop the old belt, will you? We've got a Rumble coming up. We need you.
Judging by this year, definitely.
Here's your contract. I've got one. It's for TNA. Tell that out. Here's your contract.
Yeah. Pete Dunne's sporting a bit of a shiner, presumably from Sheamus' attack on Raw. He talks about telling Trick to figure it out and do a gamble. This is a face of man who's been figuring it out his whole life. You can hide behind diss tracks all you like, but tonight you can lose. You didn't figure it out. I'm going to go to
Chicago.
become NXT champion. I'm the bruiserweight. I'm the NXT's last man standing. Thoughts on the impression?
Solid.
Didn't
Didn't betray the accent along the way.
broad.
Give me another someone else from NXT to try and do an impression of. Like, I don't know, a member of the family, preferably.
Stacks.
Okay. Figure it out. Not the same, is it? The big difference maker was then announced for the debut on the CW because Miss TV's coming. Yes!
Oh my god.
Oh, in the words of Julia.
In the words of Julia.
There'll be a good game to play, I guess, the week off.
Oh, yes.
You know, we can add this to the conspiracy theory pile. Because it's like, yeah, Punk, you're going to miss the Raw where Brett's on. Yeah, you're going to wear the All-State, but you're going to share billing with the Miz.
Yeah.
You all right with that, Phil? Any problems? Okay. Similar level, isn't he? Same, if anything. Main event at WrestleMania, I do believe.
He basically describes this era of WWE as Nirvana in like press interviews.
He's right.
When it blows up, just the sheer contrast, and I can't wait. I cannot wait for it to fall apart.
Let's see how this after this 5-year deal's reached its climax, maybe then we'll see.
Well, unless some idiot goes into business themselves in the promo or something. Wesley hijacks the show.
Imagine the Miz TV. You talk a good game about workers' rights. What the fuck's the Miz doing? He's supposed to be reading his Wikipedia page.
Hank attack are going off script. You cranking my tank, Punker.
When my hand goes up, Colt Cabana goes out.
Oh, God.
So the worst catchphrase in wrestling.
Right, it doesn't work at all.
Because
Shutting up, don't rhyme either. And I'm a man who knows how to force rhymes on the WrestleCulture song. Wesley hijacks the show very briefly. He just takes the headset off Vic Joseph.
Oh, teachable moment.
And issues a challenge for, as you pointed out on the Dynamite preview, a very ill-advised street fight against Zach Wentz for the debut episode on the C-Dub.
Chicago street fight.
there's two talented workers in it, I guess.
Yeah.
But it won't be as good as
Of
Willow and
course.
Stan.
Like ran the rascal's car off the road or something. Is that what's happening?
That's the implication, yeah, exactly. I was a bit confused by what happened next because you told me it was definitely going to be Wendy Chu answering Jordan Grace's open challenge.
This is all the sadder because it means that that's what TNA have been left with.
I know.
We'll do the tag match. You can have Wendy Chu. Yeah. Make it look credible while you're at it, Jordan. Thanks. See you in January. What? Shoot me with a pillow.
It was, in fact, Sol Ruka who answered Jordan Grace's challenge. And a really fun match until it was ruined. Grace went for the Juggernaut driver early on, but Ruka escapes, leaps at Jordan Grace and gets caught. Grace went to put her on the top, but Ruka went over the top, head scissored Grace to the floor, and hit a nice springboard splash to take us to a break. When we come back, obviously Jordan Grace is back in control, but she fights back. Springboard crossbodies off each side. Charges at Grace in the corner, gets put on the apron. It goes for a high crossbody, gets caught, rolled through by Jordan Grace, who goes to do the spinning thing, and then she gets spiked on her head by Sol Ruka with a nice DDT.
Oh my god.
Grace hit a spinning back fist.
She's good at that bump.
Yeah. Dropped her with a body slam. Grace under pressure for a near fall. Goes to the Juggernaut driver, but Sol countered with a roll-up and a super kick. Grabs Grace, crotches her even on the top rope, grabs her SOS, and suddenly lights out. When they come up, there's Rosemary, and Wendy Chu attacks Grace from behind for the DQ, and they put her to sleep.
It's scarcely believable trash tacked onto a match that I was enjoying. Like, it's the two things couldn't be further apart, to be honest. Jordan Grace, different gravy.
Sol Ruka's never looked more like a wrestler, really.
Yeah.
Not everything looked good, but
Sol Ruka had a good night, and
Yeah.
I like watching Sol Ruka. I think there's like Jim Ross, there's like hell of an upside. Like the gymnastic stuff is like it's so much better than your standard wrestler gymnastics that it is worth persevering to see if you can make a proper wrestler out of it. Because at the moment it is still more, how can I add a rotation or a flip or a jump into a standard move? And she just try it and see. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it can be a little bit clunky sometimes, but that's how you end up with the Soul Snatcher.
Yeah.
You experiment and you end up with a finisher that nobody else can really do. So I think there's loads and loads of potential with Sol Ruca. But yeah, Jordynne Grace's experience shone through here in being there for everything, in presumably putting so much of this together.
Timing and footwork is all
just
first rate.
Love watching her wrestle. Like, love watching Jordynne Grace wrestle.
Mixed tag for Sol and Randy Orton on that October 8th episode.
Oh, yeah.
Soul Snatcher.
Soul Snatcher
RKO
out of
combo.
nowhere. Yeah. I mean, it can't really be out of nowhere. She's literally got a flip in front of you, but you get the idea.
Yeah. But then, yeah, Wendy Chu and Rosemary creep up the joint, some might say. Speaking of creepy, time to go to Tatum's dollhouse.
Jesus Christ, this
This is the worst crap.
I forgot about this one.
She had a Roxy doll, she had a Becky Lynch doll, Shayna doll. She's not happy with that one because of everything that's been going on with Lara Valkyria. You two are both out of code red as well, so I'm going to rattle through this.
I'm crashing.
How
How do you do this to your body?
Just got to build up an immunity to it.
He never stops.
Yeah, when you go to America, drink it constantly, as you've seen, and then it sort of buys you a couple of years of being able to sustain it until you're back there again.
It's exciting at the start, but then after a while, you're like, God damn, that's probably too much sugar in a can, really.
It's maintenance, really. Like 91% of your daily sugar?
Yeah, 91.
Yeah, just 91. Which leaves 9% free for our old friend Jarry Spoony later on.
I thought you were going to say for our old friend, 3 square meals.
I thought you
All
could
my
say
meals
for
are
our old
square.
friend Laffy Taffy or whatever that you've been having downstairs.
Well, we
Laffy
can't.
Taffy
Phil's
or
eating
whatever.
all. Phil's eating all you told us.
yeah, but we had some earlier, didn't we? So
Yeah, we did.
I like the softer Jolly Ranchers.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I like the regular ones, but these chewy ones.
Blue raspberry Jolly Rancher Chew.
Put 3 different colours together, but into them at the same time.
See, so he is experimental.
That's
with
it,
his
yeah.
takes.
It's a 3-course meal.
Can we just get to the end of the program?
No, we're way off that yet. Tatum's
Brilliant, yeah.
already sort of annoying Lyra. She says we need to focus on Rosemary and Wendy Chu. They're out of control. She says Wendy was using her for the title. Can you believe that? Lyra's like, imagine that. Because of the history, obviously. Tatum pulls the head off a doll, freaks out. Lyra calms her down. Match next week.
Don't care. Move on.
Pulls the head off a doll and freaks. It is bad.
That's awful.
It's children. Children. Toddlers.
Nice to see Funaki on our screens next. He was there translating for Julia, who's chatting with Ava. She hasn't got the surname. She's Rock's daughter, general manager of NXT. Congratulations, Julia, on her win. Roxy comes in and says, I'm surprised the bloody red carpet's not out here. You're not taking my division. And Julia goes to speak. Oh, no, sorry, goes to be translated, or I should say Funaki goes. And she's like, no, I got this. And yeah, nails it. She says, Roxy, you're scared, and you should be.
Feels like a big match. This is a bit of a passing of the torch in NXT terms.
Then you think that's it for Roxanne Perez?
Shut up, man. I think Perez has generally done a good job of playing heel and being this ace figure. Genuinely.
Despite being miscast in it.
Yeah, I thought it was horrendous at first, to be fair. Just had some wonky promos, but just evolved into this role quite well.
Funaki's obviously got this task sometimes with Japanese talent, but as a shoot, he's like it's one of them odd wrestling relationships. He's like mates with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
They go back, and you're like, The Rock's training with who? Like Curtis Axel and Gallus.
Yeah,
Excuse
yeah.
me? Yeah, Shawn Michaels and Funaki have got one of these odd
that's nice.
relationships.
Brooks Jensen's there. He goes to see Clark Kent, Dion. You
remind me of that wrestler.
so no, he's not. He's got his glasses on. He asks what gaslighting means.
Glasslighting. It's when I put my lights between these, but when I take them off. Oh my God, it's the wrestler.
Where have you gone? Spears walks in, and Dion's like, he's gaslighting you, mate. And Brooks says, I think you might be gaslighting me, to Sean Spears, who says, hey, don't you listen to him. Listen to me or something. I forgot to write most of the notes down for this one, if I'm honest.
This Brooks Jensen character has gone off the rails more than when he was pretending to go off the
I
rails.
know.
What is this?
I don't know.
I cannot make sense of it at this point.
It's been a long time since he's felt the touch of a woman. So
Right, yeah. And his former partner's been on an excursion in Japan.
yeah.
His former friend, and maybe there was something more.
Oh, she
kinda
hopes to be a partner.
She's kind of lost her way
Oh yeah. Fatal influence.
the day they...
Oh my word.
Podcast has been going on for ages.
That's like Roman and the Usos, that,
Ages,
isn't it? And those
lads.
three.
Before we get to the main event, one more thing to talk about. Because Eddie Thorpe's walking in with a load of ladies, and Ashani the Adonis walks up.
ladies.
And says, I see right through you. Walks up and he thought, like, what the hell's going on?
Shanty might as well walk around with his dick and balls clean out. Ready for some sex having party? I didn't get the invite. Hanging around with all my friends.
Cedric's already gone, no, don't hang out.
Yeah.
Siobhan, it's fine.
The whole bit, when that tweet first dropped, it was like, all the couples in NXT, Jesus Christ, every wrestler's gone out on the wrestling. Yeah, it's fine. Like, work colleagues, that's who they see the most, whatever. And then turned it into a story. Shanty's like, "Way, where's all the sex?" He's the one guy that can't find it or have it, other than Brooks Jensen.
It's your tag with Brooks. There you go. Finish could be called like busting a nut or something.
It's like a double headbutt.
Yeah. Come on.
Come on. Come on, Sid.
Go on, Sage.
Double headbutt.
Busting a nut. Suck it, please.
They do like the Young Bucks pose, but it's just with one bicep, both right arms.
Quagmire arm. Discover that internet porn, huh? Anyway.
Oh, God.
Yeah, anyway.
We spent ages on AW earlier, it's fine.
Trick Williams. Street Profits, but it's just a bunch of blue balls.
Trick Williams versus Pete Dunne, #1 contenders, last man standing match. Slugfest to start, obviously. They go outside, but Trick tosses Dunne onto the apron, goes up, tries for a pile driver, but Dunne hooks his leg on the rope and hits a backdrop on the apron. That takes us to our first break. After which Dunne grabs a chair, brings it into the ring, puts Trick's hands on it and stomps on his fingers. Trick grabs the chair, drives it into Dunne's gut, neck breaker on it, and the ref counts to 8 before Pete Dunne gets up. Dunne grabs the chair this time and wedges it in the corner and throws Trick head first into it. Trick just manages to get to his feet on the floor. So Dunne throws Trick into the steps and stomps him. And whilst the ref's counting this time, Pete Dunne exposes the concrete, goes for a double underhook, but Trick Williams blocks it. Goes for a catapult on Pete Dunne, but Dunne sits up and hits a DDT on the exposed concrete, and Trick only just makes it up at 9. He looks in real trouble. Dunne charges in the ring this is, but Trick hits him with an uppercut. Dunne dodges the leaping knee, though, hits the bitter end, and Trick, again, just gets up at 9, beats the count, but then immediately collapses. Dunne grabs the chair. He thinks he's got it won. Swings it. Trick dodges. Spinning roundhouse into the chair, into Pete Dunne's head. Pete Dunne just makes it up at 8. Gets hit with a trick shot, and then just makes it up at 9 like he's dead. Pops up right at the last second. So Trick goes out to the floor, clears the commentary booth, that little cover thing he sets up. And this time Dunne grabs Trick and powerbombs him through that top bit of the commentary booth. Again, Trick just makes it up at 9. So Dunne grabs Trick, throws him into the crowd. They brawl round into the raised podium. Pete Dunne sort of takes off the bit of it and hits Trick with a pipe. Tries to suplex him off it, but Trick blocks it. Nails Dunne. Russian leg sweep to the both of them. Off the Eagle's Nest thing, through a table.
Oh my God.
Great spot. The refs check on him. You think they're both going to be counted out. Here comes the champion, Ethan Page, to yell at Pete Dunne to get up. Page tries to attack Trick, but Trick backdrops him through the table, beats the count. The ref hits 10. Pete Dunne is counted out. And Trick Williams is the last man standing and the new #1 contender.
I really, after I said it last week, I really don't want to sound like I'm on some sort of anti-Pete Dunne agenda, because I'm not. And there might have been here some of that wrestling dark arts where in 5-10 years' time, Trick Williams talks about how like Pete Dunne really helped him get over a hurdle, or it was like such a fantastic learning experience. Type of thing where like Bron Breakker might have said it about Ilya Dragunov or something. There's always somebody around in NXT that's there really to get somebody else up and do things that we might not necessarily be able to see behind the scenes and when the match is taking place.
It's Finlay types.
Yeah. But I just felt like here, and it was good, so that's something. I just felt like this could have been Trick Williams versus anybody because he's supremely over still.
Yeah.
I found this whole thing to be a bit of a needless test of that, but he's survived it, and I fully expect him to win the title back, and he should, because it would be wasteful of that character at this point when he does need longer in NXT. But this was this was encouraging you constantly to root for Trick Williams. Everybody in the building did. I wanted him to win. I want him to get that title back. It's his, like, it's force of will with just how over Trick Williams is. And nothing was going to get in the way of that. But I just can't help feeling like this entire Fued, all of it, this diversion has just been a bit unnecessary. necessary.
Waste of bloody time.
Yeah. I wasn't like rooting for him to win in the sense of this match is amazing. Can he gut it through? I was like, I want him to win. I want him to get the belt back. But it probably could have been anybody walking him through the spot to spot to spot.
Last man standing matches are bad. Gives you a renewed appreciation for, of all people, John Cena. Just I'm fairly certain he's going to get up here. Like the anti-near fall. You know what I mean? Like good near fall is not like it. It's the anti-near fall. Great match type, guys. Yeah, it has to be amazing for it to work. It has to be nothing short of amazing for me to like a WWE Last Man Standing match, and it wasn't.
Fun ending. Really enjoyed that.
Fun ending.
And speaking of fun endings, that wasn't the end of the show because we cut to Ava's office. She's just got off the phone with CM Punk. Announces not only is he going to be there on that.
Imagine him hanging up. What his face would look like. What he would say to April.
Not only is he going to be on the debut episode on the C-Dub, he's coming next week, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my, oh my god.
Have him fight Obafemi because he's going to look 100 foot tall in that building.
If he's the newest member of Chase U.
CM Punk, backstage interactions, it's going to be the tribute to the Troop SmackDown, but instead of dream matches, it's just going to be dream moments.
Okay, let's just wait till next week.
I wish he just had some sort of, mafia connection where we've maybe seen him, dressed as sort of a mafia guy holding a gun, hanging onto a car at some point. Ah, well. Look forward to next week regardless.
I can't be asked to CM Punk anymore.
I cannot wait.
Oh, Jesus, like two of my favourite things combined. It's the best. Let me know your thoughts ahead of next week and on this show in the comment section below.
Or reach out or engage.
At WhatCulture WWE on X. Watch there. You can follow all three of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
Follow Michael Sidgwick at
M. Sidgwick.
Follow me at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE, as I said. And make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from. For daily wrestling podcasts, the Dynamite Preview is available right now. But for now, this has been the NXT review. My thanks to Hamflett, to Sidge, to Stax, to Zach for powering us with these wonderful drinks. Thanks again, Zach. Thank you for joining us. And we will see you soon.